Hi, my name is Tyler Hunter, and the reason why I took part in the 11 million children takeover was to be able to voice my opinions and to also see what the councillors had to say.
Hi, I'm Kristen and I'm 17 years old. I applied to be Andrew for the day because I've had experience with the homeless system, the criminal justice system, and I've also been in care. I wanted to offer my experiences for other people, and I also wanted to learn something from it.
Hi, I'm Grace King and I'm 13 and I applied to be Andrew Webb for the day because young people are often always thought of as naughty and not given a chance to voice their opinions, but I wanted to prove that wrong.
This is the story of our day, starting early at First House in Brinnington, where we met Andrew for the first time. We met the managers, watched a DVD and listened to presentations.
The reason we decided to have 3 people shadowing me today, as part of the 11 million takeover day, Stockport being Stockport, we decided to do takeover month instead of takeover day. And we just asked young people to say why they would want to shadow me and take part in the day in this way. And also they had to have some ideas about what they wanted to do with me this afternoon.
We then went to Westmoreland School. The head teacher showed us around the school and the different areas children learn. Andrew explained some of the reasons behind a decision to close a school in a community.
We had to make a decision to shut a school. It's a really big decision because it's been here for a couple of generations, you can see. It's on the edge of this community, but actually it was not delivering good enough quality education. So we had to make a decision, do we keep it running or do we come up with a different solution altogether? If we come up with a different solution, how much is it going to cost? But then we looked at all our other principles about investing in communities, and on the one hand it was a simple decision. You can just shut a school and move the children a few hundred metres up the road, really, isn't it? Yeah. But then what does that say to the community? You're shutting a school in the middle of the community. Is that something we had to take into account? So we talked to the community and said, well, actually what you're going to get is, if we can invest £2.4 million in this new building, you're going to get even more in your community than you've got at the moment.
The head teacher showed us the plans for the new building work, what it would cost and the opportunities that would come from building on one site. Martin showed us a library and we talked about the environment being more colourful, which would make children learn.
It looks quite good in here because you've got it colourful and it makes them look like reading's not just something what you do at school, it's something what's life. And if they want to come in here and chill, and put nice colours around them and make it sort of comfortable, and they might think it's everyday sort of thing, and they might get the attitude as they're older that reading, it's not all, no, I don't want to read, don't want to write. They might think, yeah, it's part of growing up, part of what you do.
We then went into a music room that was full of different and unusual instruments. The children loved playing in this room, and so did Andrew.
And what's the stick?
Is that one of them things what makes it? I think it is. Make sure you get this on camera. Take it. No, you turn it upside down.
Ah! That's lovely. Okay, I'll just pick me up later.
Yeah, okay.
We did eventually get him out. We then went back to Stockport House for a strategic managers meeting. People came and presented on the anti-bullying strategy. Andrew asked us our views on bullying and if we had experience of it.
But generally, is bullying a thing in your life that needs to be resolved? Have you ever been?
Teachers in school, yeah, they're not daft and they see what's happening wrong. And I think a lot of children are not really willing to step up and say, yeah, I get bullied. That's why you see all these adverts saying, don't be scared to say anything. And they are scared to say something because they think they'll get bullied more. So I think it's up to the staff to look at what's happening around them and not just rely on the kids coming up to them saying, look, I'm getting bullied. They need to realise what's going on there. Actually, come up to the kid and say, what's up, what was happening then, what's up with you, is everything okay? And if it keeps happening, then they know that something's going wrong, and then they can report it. And if you put enough of emphasis on it that this is important, and get it across to the staff that it is important that they report numbers, and that it's not just something what don't matter, then they will do it, and they should get the numbers to you. But basically, yeah, you need to speak to the parents more as well, because the child will tell the parents anything, won't they? some of them, yeah, they won't tell their mum, oh, I'm being bullied at school, but most times they'll say, oh, he's picking on me, he won't stop picking on me, and the parents knows what's going on at school, and that's why they give the schools loads of grief every day. They're getting phone calls, why is this happening, why is that happening? If you can get a point across to the parents, is your son being bullied, then that might be something to do, speak to the parents about things, and if they've got concerns, they might be able to speak to you about things, and you might get something somewhere from that.
We were also presented with options about extra funding for 14 to 19-year-olds and special education. We contributed to the discussion and helped spend £8 million. It was hard work though.
Okay, so we've got 8 million.
Yes.
We're suggesting that 5.3 of it is spent on mainstream diploma delivery.
So it's not 5 because it said 1.1 million plus the 4. It's 5.1, and then where's this?
Got that, you know, that sport and leisure one.
Oh, so it's 5.33 really, isn't it? And then you've got 0.3 left, so that's 700,000, which leaves you to spread that out, sort of thing.
Okay, so we'll go back and ask for more detail on the special education spending.
We need to specify really what.
You happy? You just spent £8 million on that?
After lunch, we met with Andrew's manager for her supervision. Donna talked through some of the work she was responsible for. One of them was about reducing obesity. Andrew finds out how she is making progress.
If you do physical activities that are fun, that's the most important thing for us. Whereas I thought we'd go in and we'd start to weigh them and measure them and teach them about healthy eating and teach them about physical activity. But what they were saying very clearly is, you know, we just want it to be a good laugh. We want it to be fun, we want to do things that we like doing, we don't want to do competitive sports, we want to do exercise, dance classes or things like that. So what I was telling them nationally is don't even start to set up a programme without asking the young people first of all what they think.
You should go up to them and start weighing them, they're going to think, whoa, this is a big mission, this.
Yeah.
But if you make it fun for them, then time's passing and buying it and they're not thinking about that, and then they're losing weight while they're doing it, and they'll feel good about themselves, won't they? And that's a good way to do it, I think.
The children who are overweight tend not to want to do school sports because they're embarrassed about putting a tracksuit on, they're embarrassed about looking overweight, they're embarrassed about, you know, like with other people, they're embarrassed about getting into competition with them. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to set up, you know, like a mini gym, but just for those children who have weight problems, and then let them do it together.
I mean, if they're all together, doing it all together, then
so that
we'll all understand, won't we?
Yeah, and then you can maybe get them to kind of like a fitness level that then they can go back into playing with their mates really, and that's the key thing.
Yeah, but that also is an issue of like, because they're overweight, they get their own gym. What about the other people that aren't, that maybe still want to do that?
Yeah.
So it should happen on a rota basis where each of them have it, like maybe sometimes like they have a bit more opportunity, but still in a way a bit of an equal opportunity.
We talk more, certainly today you've heard much more discussion about how we make sure we narrow the gap between those who are doing well and those who are doing less well. But we never must take our eyes off, I don't know, the 80% of children and young people who just get on with life.